Serious dark web users of Reddit. Was there ever a point in your use that you felt you were genuinely in danger? What happened? One time I got twice the amount of drugs that I actually ordered. Was paranoid for about 2 hours and then I just got really high and it was fine. LOL, this same thing happened to me. I actually contacted the vendor because it was probably about double or triple what I ordered. He just responded, "Enjoy." The homie. I've used the dark web once or twice. Scariest thing was when my screen went black for a few moments and turned back on. Wasn't anything big. Just my display cable beeping up. But it did give me the creeps. As for dark or disturbing speep, I've only found a list of random addresses. The dark web really has a lot of stigma associated with it. For the most part it's just people curious about the dark web or people trying to scam you or sell you drugs. You have to do a lot of looking to find the really beeped up stuff. You're more likely to find dark web type crap on Reddit or YouTube than the actual dark web. I once bought a bit of weed and I received a blackmail letter threatening me with awful things like sending CP and calling the police if I didn't send 1 BTC 1000 at the time. I was scared speechless, but nothing ever happened. Always check the reviews before buying anything. Damn boy, should have invested in Bitcoin. I used to photo edit pictures for people back in the day on 4chan. They'd offer to pay me like 50 bitcoins to do something, but I was just learning Photoshop for fun and didn't feel like learning how to set up a wallet because they were only used to buy drugs at the time and I didn't do drugs anymore. I often wonder where I'd be in life if I kept doing drugs and accepted the thousands of bitcoins people tried to give me over the years. I remember the last time I did a job on there, someone offered me 1 bitcoin. I was like, this cheap mother peeper, why is he offering me 1/10 of a coin for this work? And I looked up prices and he was offering me like 15, and that's when the realization of what I had turned down sank in. Dark web ain't scary b. I once bought a big crate of cup noodles for a cheap price. A friend of mine used to use Silk Road on the darknet when Bitcoin was 10 a pop. He placed at least 100 orders through it and never had any issues. It's a shame he didn't keep all the Bitcoin he bought because he would have been a millionaire now. I'll never forget when BTC jumped from 13 to 150 over a few months. I was trying to buy those super cool laser pointers and I got a random message saying, "I know where you live." I noped out of that site straight away. In college, some friends and I ordered a 100 sheet of acid. Using Bitcoin. To our college P.O. boxes. We got pretty terrified when it didn't arrive when it should have. We thought it was found by USPS. Our own mail service. Or the DIA. We were paranoid. Turns out they just shipped it later than they said. We got our 100 tabs, but that was a very stressful week and a half for all of us. Accidentally stumbled upon some CP once. Noped out pretty fast but was still worried for weeks the FBI would come after me. Came across a Chan style site. Every post was about trains. Wouldn't say I felt in danger. But I felt so out of the loop that I was missing something that I just got off. Every time. Remember that the person you just bought drugs from knows. 1. Your address. 2. That you have drugs in your house. 3. There's probably evidence of dark web use in your finances/computer/trash. They can rat you out with impunity just because they're feeling malevolent. They also could just get caught and be careless with destroying customer information. So it hangs over my head to this day. Had a buddy who used to order weed. The distributor got busted and the postal service let him know there was a suspicious package for him. He could either pick it up or it would be destroyed. Did he go to receive the package? Not unless he's a total idiot. Getting an illegal package addressed to you leaves you with plausible deniability if you've purchased it anonymously and covered your tracks. You can say, "No thanks. I don't want anything to do with that because I have no idea what it is." And that'll be that. You just have to suck up the sunk costs. Trying to pick it up after you've been told it was suspicious and being held will earn you a nice talk with the authorities. I don't know if it was the dark web but accidentally came across a website that was basically just Pornhub but for gore. I saw a couple seconds of a man with his hands already chopped off getting his face peeled off by some sort of cartel and nope the beep out. I had to take a break from the internet for a couple of days. Dude, I've seen that video. Beeped me up for a while. Those screams got me bad. My friends and I were once ordering some green off the dark web. On the way, we saw a dude selling cyanide. Don't ask me how I got it. Don't tell me what you'll use it for. Violation of either condition will void the sale. I own a fairly rare car that had a rare error code. I looked it up on Google and there was only one other person on the car makers forum that had the same error. And this guy took months and months going back and forth between car shops and the forum thread to try to get the issue fixed. Everyone on the forum was pitching in to try to help him. So I kept going through this long forum thread to try to figure out if he ever fixed it. And suddenly there's no more replies from the guy. Everyone was scratching their heads for a while. We thought he had maybe gotten the issue fixed and didn't bother to update us on it. Then one day, a news article popped up about a really rich guy who died in a Thai jail cell. And then we connected the two stories and they matched up. The same make and model of the car in the news article matched up with his car. And they were both claiming to be in Thailand at the time. So what happened was that same guy who was still talking on the forums got raided by the Thai police around the same time he stopped replying to the forum. Turns out that he was running one of the biggest dark web marketplaces where drugs were being sold and exchanged. It had something like 1 million in revenue per day and he was hiding out in Thailand while living in luxury. They found him dead in his jail cell a few days later. They claim he died of suicide. Everything feels government owned. I used to frequent drug sites. They would go down for weeks at a time. Then pop up again. Have weird prices. Sellers were different. It made the dark web feel like a labyrinth more than a ruleless wasteland. I was a casual orderer of the dark web for a while and got pretty big into it and started buying slightly bulky packages of drugs. If you knew the markets for a while then you would know one called Alphabet was the best of the best. The Amazon of drugs and fraud would be its best description. However, it went down mysteriously one day and everyone assumed the owners just scammed everyone for their Bitcoin. Partially true, but in the background it was actually seized the dia. Everyone flocked to a new site called Hansa which had some sketchy design features but it was the next best alternative. Turns out the Dutch police took over the site and with cooperation of multiple governments ran a drug distribution onion site with over $1 million of transactions for around a month. They were gathering information from unsuspecting users including me who bought with faulty security practices. Now this is where I started freaking out. Imagine trafficking drugs through the mail and the Attorney General at the time, Jeff Sessions, makes a speech live on television that he was going to crack down and explicitly explains how beeped everyone on Hansa was because they have been gathering data for over a month. And in a big dick energy move closes the site and puts up a banner in its place saying everyone who has purchased will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law during his live speech. I was speeping myself for a month as many arrests did occur, but luckily I guess I wasn't important enough and nothing happened to me. Be safe, boys and girls. Don't give out your information or communicate with others. And if you plan on purchasing anything, use a secure Linux OS like Tails. Use private keys. Connect to a public Wi-Fi spot, not your house. Encrypt all messages. Use multi-signature markets so your chances of losing your Bitcoin lessens. Escrow preferably. Never send your Bitcoins from a wallet attached to you directly to the seller. Tumble your coins first. And when the package arrives, don't open it for a few days. A friend of mine gave me all this info and told